Okay, we're getting there. You just hopped on. We're just waiting for a few more people to join.
Should we get started?
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. We're glad you're here. I'm going to do a quick little introduction, and then Anne, who's the real brains of the operation, is going to take over. So you'll be happy to know that we're going to Mexico and yo hablo español. So we're going to be in good hands. I went to Ecuador on my mission, so I speak Spanish. So that'll be helpful. And Anne speaks
Yes.
Spanish, and yeah, that just come in nicely. That those talents and abilities, and would do all the translation of what I try to say.
We'll see.
We found a really good organization. We're super excited about the organization that we get to participate in, participate with. Because when it comes down to it, we're a school that is growing character, right? Our hope is that we can grow characters in these kids. And to provide them with a vacation to Mexico is not in our mission. Our mission is to help them come to Christ. And serving, being involved and getting their hands dirty and sweating and digging and working hard is going to help them in their character growth to become more like the Savior, more empathetic as they get involved with this organization. Of course, we're going to have fun, but that's not why we're going. That's an ancillary purpose, an ancillary benefit, but it's not the focus or the primary reason why we go. And so Anne's put a lot of work into this. We're excited. She's done a lot of work and really done a good job of keeping the price at a really reasonable price and having a good mixture of spiritual and physical and all the good that comes with getting kids out and working together and having a good experience to bond with them with each other. So the agenda for tonight, it shouldn't be too long. It doesn't need to be too long. Anne's going to
Oh,
give us some of the details, introduce us to the organization, and then really when it comes down to at that point, we'll just do open questions, open Q&A, and hopefully we can answer all those and whatever you have on your mind, please feel free to let us know and we're glad to help you out. So Anne, I'm going to mute myself and turn it over to you.
okay, great. I'm going to share my screen here. I had oh, you disabled me. So maybe if you could re-enable that for me. I had a YouTube video to share. However, when I just tried to do it with my boys, they say it lagged. So I might just share that link with you and then you guys can go and watch it on your own about the organization. Or Marcy, if you want to tell a little bit about the organization. I don't know that the video is going to be sufficient for that. Okay, so we are planning to go to Solferino, Mexico with an organization called Find Your Path Mission. And this was the video I'm gonna was going to show. Do you want to try it or should we just skip it?
Yeah, let's try it.
Okay. My kids, it's only a minute and a half, almost 2 minutes, so we'll try it. If it doesn't work for you, you can look up Find Your Path Mission on YouTube and watch it for yourself.
Oh, things aren't always so bright. But I wanted for at least students may return to generational cycles of abuse, poverty, or addiction. I overall home to tell their to educate and advice whatever. Will graduate. Start forge healthy relationships and learns in life. But we can't do it without your help. To learn,
Okay, so hopefully you were able to hear that. What did you say? You want to hear that? Okay, let's go. Sorry, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so the dates we're looking at are a little bit different than what went out on the original email. We're looking right now at January 31st through February 7th. That the other dates kind of conflicted with several families, sports and theater and other items. So this is the dates we have chosen to go on the trip. We hope that it's early enough that it doesn't conflict with too many spring activities. Okay. The cost is going to be $13.50 plus your flight. The deposit will be due in about a week, week and a half, and that'll be $150. Your trip cost includes all the accommodations in Mexico, all meals in Mexico, travel within the country, and admission to any excursions or attractions or fun things we go do. The students will need to bring their own money for any souvenirs and for our travel days at the airport for meals there. And we will do a question and answer at the end. Sorry, I'm going to go back just a second. Whoops, for the flights. On the flights, we are going to do a group flight is our plan. So we will call the airlines and you can book several seats together like you would book hotel rooms in a block. You can do that with flights, but then there'll be a certain time limit where you'll need to go and purchase those flights so we could all travel together. Okay, if you have not, go get your passports now because they take about 6 weeks. If you have never got one for your child before, there's a few things you need to do. This is a link I can send any of you if you need it. But you fill out the application, you need the birth certificate, a photo ID, You can go to Walgreens to get that, or if you go on their website, you can take it yourself if you are that technologically savvy. They'll need their social security parent number. Both parents have to be there at the interview if they're under the age of 16. The only alternative to that is if the spouse who is not present goes and gives permission in front of a notary and you have a signed notarized document. It's $100 and they do not accept debit and credit cards, only checks. I know, ancient times there. Trip overview. We're going to go over this really quick. Our number one mission on this is humanitarian. So we have about 3 full days of labor. At this particular residence, we're going to be at the residence of Karen, who you saw in the video, and they are trying to build a home. It's not built yet, so they are bare bones still. So we are going to be doing manual labor. They need a road cleared and made better so it drains better. Right now it gets muddy in the winter time. When we go, it won't be muddy, but so we have to fix that. There are fences to be built. She said, bring shovels. There's a lot of shoveling to do. So she will decide what projects take priority and we will be helping out with that. She's also going to find a few service projects to do with locals, possibly board members, possibly schools that are in that area that we can help out. Our number 2 mission there is personal growth. So we will be doing a ropes course, which is on the property. Their daily devotionals. And on Sunday, we're going to go visit the Bible Museum, which has a synagogue on site. If you go on a Friday, you can actually go through a whole ceremony of what it was like. But it's a very cool place that they've had very good experiences visiting there. And then, of course, we have some fun. So we'll be visiting the beach, El Cuyo Beach, the pyramids of Ekbalam. There are several pyramids at this place. And for instance, this particular one, you can actually climb up to the top of that, which many pyramids in Mexico, you can't climb anymore. But this one, the last time I was there, you could. We're going to visit cenotes, which are underground pools. This picture over here. And then we're going to take a ferry over to the island of Holbox. And what's unique about Holbox is they have the bioluminescent sea at nighttime. So we're going to walk down to the beach at night and see that. And there's a possibility we'll do some canoe rides in Solferino through the forest. We're still working on that possibility. But I didn't mention that Solferino is an hour and a half northwest of Cancun. And so part of the cost that's included in this is renting vans and getting us up to that location. And anytime we travel to the pyramids or the beach or to the ferry, all the gas money and rent for those vans will be included. That's all included in part of the cost. Additional information. We can take 39 people at this time, including chaperones. So that's all according to how much sleeping accommodations there are and the number of seats in vans. And we have to have enough drivers for those vans too. So that's where we're right. At this point, due to my initial survey, we had about 30 students interested. So I know most of you answered that, but there were several who didn't. But that's how many people can take. And Russ, do you want to comment on that for a quick moment?
Sure. I actually want to add on to the service project as well. So, so this house that we're building, this is going to be part of their organization, a home base for their organization to help these at-risk youth who are in the area that have aged out of the foster system. So in Mexico, that system is fairly porous and the youth go through it when they hit a certain age and there's no support for them. So in this area, there are quite a few youth who need a home base, who need resources and need a launching pad for life. So this structure that we're building is going to be for that purpose. And that's why they have a ropes course there and some other things on the property. So we're really getting in at the beginning to help them get started for this organization. And it may be a year or so before they can start seeing youth move through, but they're really going to be able to bless a lot of lives through the work that we do there.
Absolutely.
So we are a little bit limited in our space to go out there because of the logistics and the vans. We are hoping to accommodate everybody. If we get more interest than we have spots, then we'll have to do a priority system, which is where everybody who signs up within the first window that we have, we'll do a priority based on if you're a full-time student or a part-time student, and then if you're upperclassmen versus lowerclassmen. So kind of two filterings of students if we need to do that. Hopefully we won't have to do that, but if we are limited in our spots, then that's how we will screen for the participants this time around. So take
Thank
any
you.
questions about that if you have any.
Okay. And we'll open it to questions here also. So in the next week, if you're still interested, you'll get another email from me. It's just a quick Google Forms that said, yes, I'm still fully committed. I want to go, I want my student to go. And then what will happen is Crystal will invoice you through Class Reach. She'll invoice you the full amount, and we will have a deadline for that deposit, which will be somewhere around November 1st. We might have a little leeway with that for a couple days after. And so when that 150 deposit will be like a hard, okay, yes, I'm going and we have accepted you and going. If we have too many people that want to come, then you wouldn't get invoiced that, or we would let you know that we had too many. As of this point, the number of people that have expressed interest, it'll all work out. Also, if there's a preferred email that you want me to communicate with you, you can send me an email at awatkins@legacyacademyidaho.com. If you didn't get my first email, definitely email me that, because I did not hear back from everybody on the original survey. And some of those might have just been, well, we're not interested, so I'm not going to answer this, but let me know or text me. So, and yeah, we'll open this to any questions now.
Hey, let me jump on before anyone jumps off. I have to put a plug in. Just I know this isn't the topic of this meeting, but on Thursday at 7 o'clock at the school is going to be an awesome meeting. We're super excited to have everyone come. We got some really great news and some details and a celebration. We're gonna make it really celebratory. So please come, enjoy celebrating with us the long-awaited day when we got our announcement for our new campus location and quite a few details about it. So don't miss out on that. If you can make it, please do.
Thanks, Jeff. Okay, well, I guess if there's no question, then just look for another email from me.
I
Answer
have a
that as
question.
yeah, go ahead, Amy.
Sorry, how many chaperones are you looking to take?
Okay, I found this on the web for how
my phone wanted to answer you. It's like 5 to 7. So we're somewhat flexible on that, but I think it was about 5 the last time we discussed it.
And are those chaperones parents or staff, or how does that work?
We have a few parents going. I think all of them are on staff as of right now. So it'd be me and Jeff and Russ, and Sister Mackenzie, Sister Perry, and there might be 1 or 2 others. So yeah, we're still firming that up, but yeah.
Are you looking for parents as chaperones?
No,
guess
just because of the limited number of spaces that we have.
Okay.
We are not,
Okay. Thank you.
unfortunately. I think we're done, Jeff. If you have questions you want to ask me personally, you can call me or email me or talk to Russ or Jeff as well.
I'll jump in a little on the chaperone piece. So having been on the last trip 2 years ago, we went to Guatemala and we had 6 or 7 chaperones as well. And some of them were parents, some were teachers. We were definitely open to a parent chaperone if it's the right situation for the trip. If we're looking for more men, for example, we might solicit for some chaperones or more Spanish speakers or people with a certain skill set. So it is possible that we'll need more at some point. But I also saw that it's good for the kids to be away from their parents and to be put out of their comfort zone. And as long as we have a good team that can support them, it can be a real stretching experience for them to go for a week away from home and learn how
Right.
to.
And this will be a no phone trip. Like just leave the phones at home. Yep. We did a trip last year and we didn't allow phones, and it turned out to be a very wonderful experience. All the students bonded. They freaked out a little bit, but the adults took plenty of pictures. The parents can contact us anytime. And we just found it. We thought about confiscating them when they arrived. And then I said, well, we don't want Jeff with a backpack full of 30 cell phones in Mexico. So we just thought it best if we just leave them at home. And they can detox for a good week.
There may be questions about safety. Do you want to address that? Does anyone have questions on that?
I can address it somewhat. I expressed that as well. I have lived in Mexico. I lived there for 2 years, and I know there is concerns about that. When I spoke to Karen Bates, and I said, some parents might have a question about safety, and how would you address that? And she said, well, we have felt very safe in this town. It's a smaller town. It's not one of the larger ones. She has younger children, and she says, I let them go walk to the park by themselves all the time. We've never had a single thing stolen from our property. So she felt very confident that we would be okay. And we also spoke with some good friends of Marcy's who had been to this same location with the group, and they had a very positive experience. So we will keep checking, of course, State Department and stuff website to make sure it's all still safe when we go.
I just want to add, I think, Marcy, I think this is all right to add because about their circumstance, like why they started this or what sacrifices the family made. Is that correct?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I mean, it's very mission aligned. They really felt inspired to do this. Is it Karen? It's Karen, right? Karen Bates. Like she said, her mom was a youth. She was a what's the word when they don't have
Orphan.
orphan. Thank you. She was an orphan in Mexico. And as they went down there and they're visiting and doing all these orphanage trips, they just realized, man, there's a major challenge for these kids who get kind of age out of the system. And they actually sold their home. They pretty much sold everything they had to move down to Mexico and start this thing. And they're really in a vulnerable spot. They really need people to help them because they feel inspired to do it. They just don't know how it's all going to work out. And I think that really touched Marcy's heart and all of our heart, but especially Marcy, because she's seen that, she's felt that, she's gone out on a limb with what the Lord told her to do and wondered how in the world is this going to work out. And so we feel really akin to them, helping support inspiration, right? Helping do the impossible. So it's kind of a fun, like Russ is saying, it's the very, very beginning. I mean, they really don't have anything to offer that much, and we're going in there to help them create stuff that they can offer, both for future donations or future humanitarian trips from other schools and people and groups, but also for the kids themselves, which is what it's all about, the youth in Mexico, the orphaned youth in Mexico. So it's really an inspiring thing. It's not just a really good thing that, it's obvious humanitarian work is good, but we feel like it's very, very tied to our mission, very much same heart of what we're trying to do at Legacy. So it's exciting. I don't know if Marcy wanted to share more about that, but
I was laughing because I was stuck. I couldn't find my button to unmute myself or turn back on my camera. And I've been sitting here on my phone and like, anyway, I was like, where's my unmute and my video button? But anyway, everything's really been said. Yeah, this group is really grateful for our willingness to come and help. And I can't really say anything new that hasn't been said, but the youth, they need this. And so we're excited to go provide what we can provide. As we always do at Legacy, we are conscious about cost and price. We know families have a lot of expenses, and so we try so hard in everything we do to keep the cost down. So there's no profit for the school in this trip. It's just simply hard costs. So as we Anne was very good at getting our numbers really accurate to kind of add up what's this going to cost and take it right to the penny. So
I
yeah.
hope. And there's several other wonderful programs that were triple the price. And so we went with something, but we also feel in our hearts that this is where we are supposed to go and to help this organization.
I have another question, if I may.
Yeah.
Will our youth be able to meet and work with the youth, these children that you guys are talking about?
We are working on that, and I've spoken to Karen about that. So I told her we do want an opportunity to work with the local youth, and she said I will find a service to do with them while you're here. During the day, a lot of them are in school, but there's opportunities to go serve at the school, and there's also opportunities to invite them over to the location.
Well, that sounds really neat.
Hey, one other thing, I don't think anyone, maybe I missed it, but the flights, you have kind of a rough estimate on the cost because the baseline is what, 1340 or something at that plus flights?
Yeah. So when I just looked up Google Flights or on Travelocity or something, they were between 400 and 500. But my friend who works at Delta said if we do the group flight, there should be a bit of a discount if we do the block of seats. So I have not called on that yet, but we're gonna do our best to keep that cost down.
We're hoping like a grand total of under 1800. Is that correct? Is that a rough estimate?
I would hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
That's another reason for the date change. It's a little cheaper to fly in early February.
It's true.
All those spring break visitors down to Cancun.
Yeah, you're just past the New Year crowd and just before spring break. So it'll be nice to be warm in February. Okay. All right.
Then, and I can comment on fundraising real quick. So
Oh yeah.
We want to support the kids to fundraise. We know this is something they either need to save for or a family provides for them. And it's an investment for them, something they may need to earn. So as a school, we want to provide a few simple ways to help them in fundraising. These will be things like selling pizza at lunch or joining in on some kind of a service project. But the bulk of their fundraising is going to come through their own efforts. So we've seen kids before that have done a bake sale and camped out in front of Hobby Lobby for 2 hours and made $300 just from people going in and out during the holiday season. There are so many ways that kids can earn money. We want to empower you to do that on your own and also provide a few simple things at school. So what we do at school is spread across 30 students. What you do on your own is all for you. So
yeah,
if you need ideas, come talk to us. We want to help you to earn this money and make it possible.
and I will have a committee of a few parents that will be helping me, and hopefully they will come up with some ideas as well to help the students. And some of them have done these trips before, and so they might have ideas on what their kids have done to earn that money. Okay, I think we're done. So there's no more questions. You then will finish. Thank you for your time this evening and we'll wish you a good night.